Must have updated. I'm glad I caught it. So we're going to continue with Mia's first trial. Alright, February 16th, 1:14 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 4. Mr. Falls, okay. I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're real good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove that she committed the crime. Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we gotta get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information, right. What we need most is the info about this Melissa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. Oh boy. Let's hear it. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Falls, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years. Huh. Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any minute. It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, there she is. I guess, yeah. Huh. Your girlfriend? Huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne, Valerie's little sister. What? Are you serious? Oh, did Dahlia survive and they just gave her a new name? Shut up. Come closer and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister... Oh, I can understand why she did it. Oh, Mia, you're breaking my heart. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too. What? A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend. My love as usual. Yeah, did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by... Yeah, me and Dahlia. And Valerie, too. Why? Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We send to her dad. Ask for $2 million diamond. Tell him to make exchange on Dusky Bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew detective. Having a police detective in your pocket is a useful thing, all right. In the end, you were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman... That woman, Valerie, she'd do it for real. Oh, she shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river. Huh. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. Huh. That man, Terry Falls, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. Did they ever find a body? He threw my beloved sister into the roaring water 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is why? Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. So that's why you called her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like, so I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I just want to hear the answer come from her mouth. That's all. So that's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, zebra boy. My senses are tingling all over. Tell me, Mr. Falls, where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom. The $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? Oh no. Huh? You don't know? Oh really? I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day on the bridge. Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone forever. Into Eagle River. The only way this happened then is she survived. So it disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Well, wait a minute. You can come back in now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Falls, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her. Swallowed by river. Gone. Dahlia, my sweet teen angel. Oh god, how old is he? Ugh. Old enough. Your teen angel? How old is she anyway? Oh my god. Put him back in prison. Okay, I'm done with this man. Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. Jesus Christ. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rob worth 22 mil. Man, oh man. Angels these days. Falls takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel or is she really a... No. I just... someone wants me to pay for their stupid shit. Likely harasser. So you're banned again. Likely harasser. Okay. It's time, kitten. Looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. Alright, the diamond was added to the court record. The missing diamond. Okay. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Alright, one of his bullshit rules. Yep. That is Godot for you. Alright. Almost 2 p.m. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Falls. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason could a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? For the money? I mean, like, just thinking about how expensive this diamond is. And if Dahlia jumped off on purpose and survived and is now Melissa Foster, she just wanted it to herself. It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yeah. Yes, of course. You think? Ha. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. God. Mr. Armando. Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. So, okay, why does Godot hate Phoenix so much? I don't understand. Especially since, like, he carries all the stuff, technically, that he said to heart. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, May I speak, Mr. Judge?
Of course. The judge is ready anytime you like.
I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true.
I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady.
It looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up.
Very well then. Let's hear what the witness has to say.
I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I'd never been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster.
We're not here for your opinion, bitch. Out of the country, eh?
Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder.
Indeed.
You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow, I've retired to this case.
Where were you?
So, what country were you living in then? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed...
Oh, so she's Batman now.
It was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal identification.
What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Yeah? Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in?
Objection!
Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country she was in and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I've lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Falls or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point.
Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you've stated to the official testimony?
Yes, please, Mr. Judge.
You didn't know either person? Are you certain of that? Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm afraid I'm rather shy around people.
Oh well, that can't be helped.
Why is he just agreeing with everything that comes out of her mouth?
The first time you saw either of them was when they were on the bridge, correct?
Yes, it really was a coincidence. So what made you decide to go to Eagle Mountain anyway? I just love being outdoors. Picnics, hiking, you know, that sort of thing.
You don't look like much of a hiker to me, but you do look like a digger of sorts. But Eagle Mountain is a 2-hour drive from here, and no trains run through there. There are plenty of mountains that are closer and easier to get to.
Well, I went there once with the college hiking club. I fell in love with its stark, desolate beauty and its cold yet romantic gloominess.
I didn't know you were such a goth. Oh. By the way, what's the name of your college?
Objection!
The prosecution objects to any questions that involve the witness's private life. All that matters is that she's a material witness to a crime. The witness doesn't need to respond to questions that are clearly malicious intent. Thank you. She's really gone too far.
Miss Faye, you're treading on thin ice here.
I hardly said anything. Talk about sensitive. Jeez. Perhaps, but your behavior that day was very suspicious. Not only have you contradicted yourself here in court, but you know things you shouldn't. For example, the scratches on the trunk of the car. Well, that's...
Objection!
Unfortunately, Miss Faye, your last statement proves nothing. Shut the fuck up, Edgeworth. Oh my god. Oh, really? And why is that? The witness came to the police station once to identify the suspect. It's entirely possible that, at the time, an officer showed her this photo.
That sounds like a rather serious mistake.
Ha! That's the oldest trick in the prosecutor's book. That's not fair. That wicked inmate. I'll never be able to forget that horrible day.
A grudge?
Well, the police sworn's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbors such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean.
You know,
not only did he forget about what he did, he forgot the poor policewoman as well.
what do you mean by that?
Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well.
Well, she's right about that. Falls is kind of forgetful. That's harder.
You said he forgot what the detective looked like.
What did you mean by that?
Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man.
It's bad. Mr. Falls' reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. I think we leave that alone. Personally, I think. Because that's kind of irrelevant, because she didn't have a white scarf. There is no white scarf. Any more damage to my client's image could be a disaster. The judge already has a bad enough opinion of him.
You just can't trust someone with a bad memory. What did you eat for dinner 1 week ago today? At the very least, a person should... no. As for me, it was payday.
What the hell?
So I had a nice moose steak with some poutine on the side.
That sounds good. And how does this relate to anything? Whether it's eating steak or committing murder, a person shouldn't deny their actions. I'm in complete agreement, Your Honor. You knew about that incident? But weren't you out of the country until the year before last? Well, I saw a report about the escaped convict on the news. They had an in-depth report about his whole history. How? If it just happened like that day or whatever.
So you were still living abroad 5 years ago, is that right?
Yes. I can't let her get away with these lies. Listen to me. She's neck deep in this whole thing. Somehow, you're just going to have to get her to show the court her true self. Okay, so let's look at that one. I was like, maybe not. Sadly, don't have any reason. I'm gonna see what happens if I try to add it. Okay, let's skip. Boop, boop, boop. Let's go. Alright, let's press harder. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me.
That's true. He's clearly a bitter man.
Oh wait, I already read this. Here. What happens here? So, Your Honor, what the witness said just now was tremendously important. I'd like it added to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant... then maybe not. Wait. Okay, never mind. Is that... I mean, it did give us something else to press. Okay. What do you mean by lucky? Well, it's February now. Everyone is wearing scarves. If I had accidentally worn a white scarf like he said, then you yourself might have been killed.
That would have been a terrible loss for this world.
Huh. Looks like you pressed... did I? Looks like you pressed too hard this time, kitten. Mr. Armando. Keep looking around and you're gonna lose sight of the finish line. Justice is blind, but she's not deaf. Sometimes you have... Oh. Okay, so I'm seeing the white scarf. There was no white scarf. Okay. Haha. Witness. I want you to look at this photograph. It's in black and white. It makes me laugh. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification.
Oh, you're talking about this scarf right here, eh?
Yes, that's it. That's the scarf the policewoman was wearing. I've got her now. Just don't mess up. But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf.
White?
This is the scarf he identified as belonging to the victim. But it certainly doesn't look white to me.
Objection!
Well, it was foggy that day, and it was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white.
Objection!
Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf.
Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but
There's only one explanation for this mix-up. The camera? The picture? Ew, it's this thing. Right? Is it... I'm gonna say this. Witness, have you ever seen this note? Note? No, never.
it's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you would have.
Then how does she know it was supposed to be white? I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Falls' instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. White scarf. Ah. Witness, you knew what this note said. And it's because you knew that you slipped up and mistakenly said white scarf. Okay. Well, Miss Foster? No!
Order. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation.
I'm quite sure this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, the witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Falls is one. The person who wrote the note, Valerie Hawthorne, is another. And finally, one more person.
Did you say one more person?
That's right. A person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Here, let me save here. Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... I keep saying it's Melissa. Is it not her? Hey, what is it, Mr. Armando? Okay, no. So it's not her. Is it Dahlia? And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne.
Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before.
Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. There is her name right there.
What's this? So, who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne?
Miss Faye must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life.
The dead?
Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago.
Killed in a crime? You don't mean...
Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Falls. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course, people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off the Dusky Bridge and was lost in the Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found.
Objection!
She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. Oh, and she's 19 now. Ooh. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster. I believe that's the same age you are.
Objection!
Even you couldn't. Miss Faye, you're not saying. I mean, Occam's razor, bitch. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
What?
Ha, nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can get all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm.
Witness, just who are you anyway?
I didn't think it'd come to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself.
Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought the defense would pursue the matter this far. I'm doing my fucking job, you bitch.
You don't mean...
Did he know this whole fucking time? Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conduct full background checks on all of our witnesses. What did he say? Ha. Looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way. But then why? If you had revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony, so he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. This is some bullshit, Edgeworth, and you fucking know it. This is...
But... I thought she died 5 years ago.
We thought so as well, but... Well, as you can see.
Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years?
That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at the scene of another murder.
Objection!
Really, Miss Faye, I must say your strategy here is painfully obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost.
How dare you?
Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. Her big sister. Miss Faye must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her.
What? I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister?
Oh, well, you see, I thought I was winning. Somehow he's turned it around. It's the diamond. Turned around on me. Huh. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten.
The defense is prepared to... Okay. What was that, Armando?
The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. That wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict.
Objection!
Okay. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. Huh. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets.
I am sweating bullets.
You think you're in a tough spot, huh?
Of course, aren't I?
No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth. That's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you.
Up to me?
The rashness of youth. How charming.
Shut the fuck up, Edgeworth. Yeah, this is coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye?
It's the diamond. What is this? Is this the defense's idea of a joke?
Oh, is that not it? Well, never mind.
It was the rashness of youth, apparently.
Yeah, let's save her here.
What motive? What motive?
Oh, the whole truth must come out.
The story starts after Terry Falls escaped. He called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, "Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out." Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth.
The whole truth?
There's a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie. To keep her mouth shut permanently.
Objection!
A terrific story, Miss Faye. If you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence?
Do I have to present something again?
Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Falls. There's only one important secret that connects them all.
Oh yes, I know the secret.
Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony.
What testimony?
Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago. I believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Ugh.
Very well. I grant your request for further testimony. I know it will be painful for you, but can you enlighten us once more, my little maple leaf? God. This man is Canadian as fuck.
Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge.
Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia? But this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles.
5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Falls. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge.
You're lying, bitch.
After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Falls in the arm. That's when Mr. Falls tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life, looking the exact same way I always have. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe, after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye?
Yes, Your Honor?
As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination.
Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve.
What info?
Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Falls told us that in the lobby.
I do anything she says, anything Dahlia says. Okay, yeah. What you're saying, that was planned.
Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret.
Okay.
Did you and Mr. Falls have a relationship? Yes. As a oh my god.
Who's tutoring who?
As a tutor.
You were tutoring him? Mr. Falls?
No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. Mr. Falls came to the house to tutor me. Why? That makes sense. 5 years ago, she was only 14. He probably came up with the kidnapping plan during that time. The Hawthorns are in the jewelry trade and are quite wealthy, you see.
Quite the clever fellow, that Mr. Falls.
Did I hear him right? Did he just call Mr. Falls a clever fellow? Fucking creep. I heard the diamond is valued in the neighborhood of $2 million.
$2 million.
It was still uncut, so it was, oh my god. I thought it was like a little Jolly Rancher size thing. I don't know. Like it looks like a Jolly Rancher, right? A Jolly Rancher you drop, like it fell out of your mouth and you're like, oh shit, and you pick it up and it's got a rock stuck to it and you're like, well, it's gonna be a little extra crunchy now. It was still uncut, so it was about the size of a pint of milk.
A $2 million pint of milk. I don't know what to think about that.
The defendant demanded that her sister, Valerie, make the exchange. Not as a detective, of course, but as an individual. By the way, I want to ask you, Mr. Edgeworth, why do you think he wanted to make the exchange up there on that mountain? If he ever got surrounded, it would be hard to escape. There's one thing a kidnapper wants to prevent, and that's police involvement. In a place like that, it would be easy to tell if he was being followed. With only one entrance to the mountain, he was ensuring his safety. What a wickedly clever man that Mr. Falls is. Yeah, right. It was all your plan. Anyway, Valerie brought the diamond to the mountain and... Why after? Yeah, like, why would she shoot him after the exchange? That was a dangerous thing to do, considering you were being held hostage. Yes, but actually, that saved my life.
What do you mean?
You see, Mr. Falls was holding a knife in his right hand.
Was he found with a knife?
Somehow I just knew he was going to use it. I knew he was going to use that knife to kill me. That's why my sister shot him. It was to save me. After?
So then... Okay.
I'd like to hear more about what happened right at that moment. Well, when Mr. Falls was shot in the right arm, he let go of me.
So he didn't push her.
I was dazed. I turned to try to run away, but Mr. Falls turned to grab me as well. As I ran past, he and I locked eyes for a second. He gave me a large, bloodthirsty grin.
Bloodthirsty grin? Ooh.
And in the next instant...
Splash.
I advised the court to remember that the river is 18 feet deep and incredibly swift. I was a strong swimmer, but I was knocked out. When I came to, I had been carried away by the river to a strange place. I'll never forget that day. The crumbling bridge, nowhere to run. Then just one little shove from behind. That was it. Before my sister could catch me, I fell into the river. Okay. And that's why you hid your identity? Yes. I only told my sister.
Valerie Hawthorne, eh?
Yes, she's the only one who knew about me. Meanwhile, legally, this witness has been deceased for 5 years. I did ever want something like that to happen to me again. And that new identity was Melissa Foster, right? Yes, my sister helped me get the official paperwork taken care of. That makes sense. Without an insider's help, doing all the paperwork would have been impossible. She was the only person left in the world I could count on. And you think I killed her? There's no way I could. It's the moment of truth for this witness, too. Once the truth about this staged kidnapping comes out, everyone in the court will know how much of a Jezebel she really is.
Jezebel?
I've just got to prove that kidnapping was a hoax. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I will be right back in a few minutes. Alright, I am back. The ice cream is not agreeing with me, but I'm okay now. Did you and Mr. Oh, wait, did I already press her on everything? Okay. Shot in the arm. Let me see. Let's look at the map. Like, there's the map, right? Which side did they say they were on? They were on the short side, right? Cause they're like, oh, she couldn't escape. Or whatever. Yeah, she would have died. She would have gone splat on that rock. Oops. Haha. You say that Mr. Falls pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Falls. Huh. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said that's hard to believe. I should have said that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of the Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in the last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind, as you have claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? Oh, look at you. The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why, for all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah.
You're right. If the events occurred just as the witness has testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this?
You see,
Objection!
Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What? What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked.
I mean, I don't think she could have been pushed off sideways that easily. I don't know. Like, you'd have to, like, duck down and around to get through that.
Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge.
If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct?
Now that you mention it, I do remember now, when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious.
Order. Order in the court.
It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion.
Objection!
Nope. Not now, Mia. This is no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Falls panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous. What's so impossible about it? As your flawed logic contradicts. Yeah, here we go. This is it. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Look at this photograph. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. He just got shot in the arm. He's not picking anything up. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Falls had been shot in the right arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. Ugh. So, Mr. Falls throwing a witness off the bridge? That is clearly impossible. Gah.
Order, order. What is the meaning of this?
Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into the Eagle River intentionally.
What? What is this?
Was that a tigre roar? Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun in handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide.
Yeah, I don't think Valerie knew. Well, maybe she did.
Perhaps. But still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping in the river. Oh, then what is it? What was so important that you'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. It is the diamond. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up the mountain with her, the $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had planned it all from the beginning. The $2 million. She was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Falls to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Ooh. And then you get to skip out on high school. Yeah, Edgeworth is not happy. Order, order, order. Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Old enough to be a fucking sociopath. Yes. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? Like, it wasn't there recently. I hate thinking about it because I saw like the video, but the girl who killed her mom because her mom found her vapes, like it was cold blooded, because like her mom was like cleaning her room, you know, being a mom, and she finds the vapes. She doesn't say a word. She just leaves her room, comes back, shoots her mom in the face. And I'm just like, and then she like starts texting her little friend. You see her on her phone laughing on like the home security camera, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man! Like, what? How is that your first? Like, she didn't say a word. She sneaked past like this doorway opening with the gun behind her back. Like, you couldn't see the gun, but she was hiding something. Oh my God, it's upsetting. This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well?
Objection!
But she was a detective then. You're saying that she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder.
What do you mean by that?
On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Falls, Valerie called her sister, Dahlia, and then told her what she was planning to do.
Planning to do?
She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is when you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Jesus. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices of the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister, Valerie Hawthorne.
This fucking judge. Who is that? Laughing at a time like this.
Oh, okay. Forgive me. It's just hilarious.
Witness? Is that you?
You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly weave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you?
I will say before I possibly present it.
Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14, I plotted it with Mr. Falls and my sister. And one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? That's my question for you. If you can't provide evidence to at least show that.
Does she have any jewelry on? No. Well, Miss Fey?
I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey. Are you stupid or something? How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have decisive proof of Valerie's murder.
Well, it seems we've come to an end.
No, we're not.
To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense.
Why? Of course you are. This is some shit. Is this it? Is it really over? No! That girl made a fool of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. Huh. Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come now, kitten. Haven't you figured out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? Yeah, Terry. On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Falls' stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. It's our boy, Terry. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who's the one person? Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness.
A new witness?
Yes, I would like to hear the testimony of Terry Falls. The defendant? Yeah, he's allowed to talk. There's only one person that can shed any further light on the situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie Hawthorne, or whether it was in fact her younger sister, Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who can solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Falls.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what's your take on this?
Why not? The prosecution has no objection.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand.
Give me 1 sec. Alright, this is my last chance, Mr. Falls. My last chance to establish Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left.
Defendant, you've heard everything that's been said up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way. Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me.
Mr. Falls, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive. And you were used for $2 million. I mean, so like to me that's a lot of money. But to put a life for $2 million, that's not worth it.
That's not true. Mr. Falls, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I mean, they're sisters. They have similar. Yeah, they have very similar features. Sorta, kinda, not really. They have similar noses, at least. Which, when you have like a scarf and a hat on, that's all you can really see, right? You can't really see her mouth that well. You can't really see her eyes that well. It's just her nose, and that's what they have in common.
Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other.
Terry.
Dahlia, it's true. You are alive.
You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad.
Tell the truth, the real truth. I believed in you.
I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there's one thing that I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry.
Dahlia. I'll allow Mr. Falls to testify once and once only.
That is... that makes me sick.
Well then, Mr. Falls, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Aw.
Water, please, water. Can't talk. Need water.
Let's take a sip of water. Ha. Oh well. It'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitterer than hell itself. Ugh.
That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood in front of me. We talked. Then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia.
Mr. Falls, you're covering for her. Do you think she would do the same for you? That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the testimony of the trial.
Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Falls? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think.
Okie-dokie.
According to the note, the meeting was supposed to take place at 4:30. You certainly arrived early, didn't you?
It was raining. Already dark too.
You waited on the bridge for 30 minutes?
Mr. Falls? Eagle Mountain. That spot. Strong memories.
Why did he just clam up? Could it be he's hiding something here? Already? You were quite early, so you waited on the bridge, correct?
Yeah, I like waiting. I'm used to it.
Aw, buddy. I'm sure he is. Zebra Boy waited 5 years to ask a single question. To find out why a woman betrayed him. To him, 30 minutes must have been like a blink of an eye. You were watching the car?
That bridge. Other side is broken. Nobody can come from there. So I was watching car.
What else were you expecting him to do? I suppose that's the obvious thing to do, but I suppose something's bothering me. Getting that feeling. A contradiction?
I wonder what's on the other side of the broken bridge anyway.
No one lives there. There is a small shrine up on the mountain, but that's it.
Anyway, nobody came. No car, nothing.
Mr. Falls, think carefully now. Are you certain that it was Valerie Hawthorne?
I never lie. It's the truth. It was Valerie. I remember her face.
No, you didn't. Wait a minute. If you had remembered her face, then why did you make her wear a scarf as identification?
Sorry. I told a little lie.
Ay, ay, ay.
But the woman I met, she's different from the woman standing here now.
I mean, it's been 5 years.
She was different. It was Valerie.
What did y'all talk about? Yeah, hey. What did you talk? Me and Mia sharing the same brain cell once again. What did you talk to her about anyway? Mr. Falls?
Valerie told the truth about the kidnapping 5 years ago. She said someone needed to take the blame for it. That was all I could think to do. She said that. That's why she lied. Got me the death penalty.
And were you satisfied with that answer, witness?
Dahlia died. It was my fault. But I don't really remember. Maybe I did. Maybe I did push her in. It don't matter no more. Either way, my Dahlia, my sweet teen angel, dead.
But you just saw that she isn't dead.
After Valerie talked to me on bridge, nothing left to live for.
How can you be so sure? It was raining at the time, and sunset that day was at 5 o'clock. It would have already been pretty dark on that mountain at 4:30. Please, Mr. Falls, this is your last chance. You've already taken the fall once for something you didn't do. I lost 5 years of your life. Like, damn.
That woman, it wasn't Dahlia.
Stop right there. What more needs to be said? Even if it means the death penalty. Even if it means taking the blame for murder. You'll still do whatever's necessary to protect her, won't you, Mr. Falls? I know it's obvious, but he's clearly lying. He's been cursed by Dahlia Hawthorne. He'll probably go to his grave still believing in her. Mr. Falls. Even if you can show he's lying, the poor guy will still be cursed. You'll still have to point out the contradiction anyway. That's the curse of being a defense lawyer, I guess. She wasn't there, so I waited. Okay. Died between 4 and 5. Bow, bow, bow. She wasn't there. I watched my car. One woman came, stood in front of me. Wait a minute. What side are we supposed to be on the bridge again? I think it's this one. Let me save. Okay, let's present. Hey. So when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? You sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well, then I'm sure too, Mr. Falls. I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? What? Okay. Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. Look at this photograph. It's perfectly clear and it makes me laugh. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Falls, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Ugh. Blah. Mr. Falls, please don't get so worked up. We just want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. Then what? Did you get there early? Did everybody get there early? I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Yeah, it's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. We brought a memento to represent our love. Mementos? Not normally good things. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under the base of tree there. Is it the diamond? Oh. Oh! That's the necklace that Phoenix ate. Uh-oh. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle on a necklace is your memento? Yeah, that's the one that Phoenix ate. That had traces of poison inside of it. It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But then he left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. Plenty of time to commit a murder. Irk. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have been I could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No!
Indeed, there was certainly enough time for it.
I've still got a chance. Mr. Falls, there's no mistaking it.
Erp.
Huh? Mr. Falls? Is there poison? Did he take poison? Did he just drink the poison from the thing?
That's enough, please.
Witness?
A witness? I promised her 5 years ago, if it ever happens, that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink a bottle of...
No! No, stop the trial. Your Honor, we need a recess. We need a hospital.
I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this.
No, we are so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence.
No, don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. My close, sweet Dahlia. Again.
Mr. Falls.
Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee.
Mr. Falls. Oh. This is why Mia's first trial didn't go that well. Oh no. So he really dies, I think. Mr. Falls. Shit. Yeah. I mean, we're... Jesus Christ. And so my first trial ended. Suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners. Only losers. Like... I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought it'd never heal. I mean, yeah, seeing somebody kill themselves live in front of you. Jeez. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person. Fucking Dahlia. The true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne. She left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Ah! Unforgivable. That witch. Mr. Armando. We were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You are just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault. It's my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. I knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. Oh my god. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Jesus Christ. Mr. Armando. Aww. But what happened to him, though? No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. Oh. 1 year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. We're Phoenix now. Yeah, we're no longer Mia, I think. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. She had it coming. She had it coming. She had it coming all along. And it was finally over. At least that's what I thought at the time. There. I'm done. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years, but now something has happened that's made me remember all of this. Oh, so this was a little short one. A two-parter little short one. Oh, episode 5. I think this is the last one, right? Bridge to the Turnabout. So, we'll leave things off here for now. Like, I'm sad that we're in the end of Phoenix Wright is coming, but I'm also excited for our next game coming up, which is the Master. Here, let me pull it out. Let's see. I do have Age of Calamity. Actually, I haven't played that yet. But Master Detective Archives Ring Code. Where's the at the bottom? Ring Code. But yeah, that's what we got coming up. So get excited. I want to start playing Tears of the Kingdom again, and then shift into Age of Calamity because that sounds like a lot of fun. I've only seen gameplay of Age of Calamity, but it looks badass. So I'll save twice and end things off like I always do by saying good morning, good afternoon, good night, good luck, good riddance, and stay safe. And let's save it third time. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.